Good afternoon. It is Friday, January 20th. I think about 3:30. I've had a fairly relaxing day. And I was, come on, Max. Come on, baby. Max is out here with me. We were walking down to the creek. And one of my friends told me that they thought these videos where I walk and talk were the best ones I do. So hopefully you can hear the lavalier from where I have it stationed. I'm also holding it to the side because I'm trying not to get the house I'm staying in too much. They requested in the welcome guide that I, oh, there goes the squirrel. He'll be off after that. Get the squirrel. Here he comes. Get that squirrel. It's over there. It's over there. He's a little bit, over there. There'll be another one. I don't want him going too far that way though. He can be off the leash behind the house here, but not down by the road. He has no car sense. This way, Max. Come on. Come on. So we're heading away from the house, down to the creek. There's a plastic chair there right beside the creek bed. So I'm going to walk and talk. Here he comes running across. Come on, baby. Over here. Come here. Max. Come here. Once he gets behind me, he sometimes runs to catch up. I have no idea if I got any of them on there or not because the camera, the screen is the camera when I have it in this mode. We've had a little problem with a possum in the backyard last night. He went under the deck to get it. Fortunately, when I called him, he came back out and all he did was growl and the possum hissed. It would have been quite a sight trying to see me get under that deck to separate them if they had a fight. And then I caught the possum later by the goldfish pond. He hadn't eaten any yet that I could tell, so I ran him off again. But I didn't want Max to come on, keep up. He likes the freedom of being off his leash. When he decides to join me, he'll come running up here like a crazy dog and then go right past me. If he sees a deer or a squirrel, there's no stopping him. But at least he knows where he lives and he knows where to get back. You see, there's a whole lot of downfall up here. And technically, I think I'm about to cross the property line off of their property. Well, I think the trail actually stays on their property. But right where those trees are knocked down is the neighbor's 100 acres that he never uses for anything. So they kind of have free roam on it. I'll try to keep the shadow off of me. It's about 55 degrees here, 3:30 in the afternoon on a Friday in North Carolina. Last week, you see this trail is extremely bumpy. Even though you can't see it a lot because of the leaves, there's a lot of rocks. So I did go, oops, I got you upside down probably. I did go last week to Sam's Club. They had these Eddie Bauer waterproof boots on for $30 a pair. So I figured they would be easier to walk in on this trail. The trail goes this way, Mr. Max. They've kind of blocked off that trail because it goes a little bit, actually that's not the one. That goes behind their house. I guess we could come up that way if we wanted to, if we went around the other side. But they've kind of gotten the trail going closer to the creek, on the creek side, because there's a neighbor a little bit down the driveway from them, and out of trying to respect her privacy, they rerouted the trail a little bit further. The next neighbor down is that neighbor's sister, and she sometimes walks a dog. Oh, there's a hole out here at times. I didn't really fall in it, so that's good. I could feel the ground going down, so I stepped on, leaned on the other foot. But yeah, along some of the health update things that I haven't really shared on my other channel yet, there's lots of woodpeckers out here. They do have bird feeders out. They want me to feed the birds once in a while. One of them's full of sunflower seeds, and the other one is suet with seeds in it. And they've gone through 2 blocks of suets in the month that I'm here. And there's only one left, so I'll probably put that out in the morning. Yesterday was kind of icky and rainy, but I was going to share a health update. When I stepped on the scale a couple of days ago, I had dropped under 210 pounds, which why does 210 matter? It doesn't really, unless you had a stroke 7 years ago and when you went to the doctor afterwards, your first weigh-in was 210 pounds. Then you followed medical advice for 2, 3 or 4 years, and you gained almost 50 pounds. I think it was 47.4 pounds that I gained. And now for the last 4 years, I've been working on losing them. So it took me 3 years to gain them, 4 years to lose them. And just this week, I dropped back below my stroke weight. So I think this morning I hit at 208.1. And when I get to 207.4, I will be a full 50 pounds down from my peak. I think I can see the chair now. So I'm going to take a break at the creek once I get down there and let him run around a bit. And I'll show you some of the creek while I talk. But anyway, I plan to go another 10 pounds by the end of February. So I will be at 60 pounds lost by the time I get to the low carb conference in Denver on February the 23rd. So I have a little over a month to do 10 pounds, which is a bit aggressive, but I think I'm down 9 pounds this month, and I'm just really starting to tighten up the screws to get really into sustainable, what they call nutritional ketosis. My ketones have been running at good levels for the last week or two, because I did start he doesn't like to get off the trail real far unless and there technically is a trail here. It's just not used as much as all the others. Of course, I lost my train of thought there. I know I was talking about ketosis, but that's really not what this channel is about. Just suffice it to say that my health is improving as my weight declines, and we're out of the sun here. Come here, Max. Come on, let's go down here. Come on. Oop, that's a big rock. Now, you don't want to fall over one of these, but you see what I'm walking across. And then there's one you could actually sit on. I'm going to go to the chair. And hopefully it's not full of leaves, rotting wet leaves from yesterday's rain. I've dumped it out once before. It may take me a minute to rearrange this camera. So let me pause it here. Here is the chair I'm going to be sitting in for a minute, and that silly dog has stayed up on the trail and won't come but look at all these rocks. Yeah, you can tell this is kind of a rocky area to be hiking in. But here's the creek. I guess I could walk across the creek if I wanted, but I don't know whose property that is on the other side, so I'll just stay right here. There's a little waterfall up further, and I think there's one right down there. But let me sit here a minute. I'm sure he'll come. I'll probably pause it and call him again. When all else fails, if I sit down, he'll come want to jump in my lap. He's more like a cat in that aspect than a dog. So anyway, let me tell you about my planned trip to Denver and then out west. I bought a 30-day pass. Well, it's really a 120-day pass. Let me correct that. It's valid for 120 days, but it's only good for 30 days. So anyway, I bought it on a sale with Amtrak from the 10th to the 20th. I guess today is the 20th. I could buy another one if I wanted, but looks like 10 segments is going to be more than enough, because I'm actually going to have to cut the last 3 days off of it because I've been offered a house sit in Wilmington, North Carolina. So I'll be back down this way, but on the beach, woo, in late March. But it'll start 2 days before the 30 days of segment usage would run out. So let me clarify that. You buy the pass, it does not expire for 120 days. But once you get on the train with your first segment, then you have 30 days to finish the 10 segments that you bought. We'll pause it and call him again. He still didn't come. He's not getting off that trail, which is unusual. If there were a deer or a squirrel down here, he'd be here in a heartbeat. But I'm not really worried about it. There's 104 acres here, and he knows how to get back to the house, and the gate is a little bit ajar. So anyway, I have booked my first segment to go to Denver for February the 19th. This house sit is scheduled to end February the 15th. So hopefully they'll get back on time. If not, I'll have to put him in the car and take him up to Baltimore, where they're going to be staying with their daughter and granddaughter. I don't want to have to take him in the car because the car is fairly full. I'm sure I could pack it better. But you take a dog, you almost need the whole front seat for the dog. Anyway, that only gives me 4 days to spend with my parents. So I'm not really looking forward to reducing those any. But, I mean, when you're doing this kind of work, that's kind of what you make the sacrifices you need to make. On the 19th, I plan to go from Manassas, Virginia, which is 2 stops south of Union Station, D.C., which I understand is a nightmare for getting on the trains. The only benefit to going to Union Station, I could leave from there, and I could either go the south route, which I'm going, or I could go the north route, and I could leave one day later if I went the north route, but it doesn't run. The south route only runs 3 days a week, and I wanted to do the south route because it goes through the New River Gorge in West Virginia, which is absolutely beautiful, except when after I booked it, and I can change it if I want to, but I'm not sure I'm going to. It goes westbound, it goes through the gorge at night, so I really wouldn't be able to see that much, and it's about 4 hours longer that way, so I think it's almost 24 hours to get to Chicago, through Charlottesville, the gorge, and then it goes up, I believe, through Ohio, and over to Chicago, and I've got an Airbnb for the night in Chicago. I've already figured out where the LA Fitnesses and Planet Fitness are, so I can go to a hot tub, I can go to tan, I can take showers, and I'll get relaxed before I check into the Airbnb, which apparently the train is supposed to arrive at 7:15 a.m., but Amtraks are notoriously late. So anyway, but I have till 3 p.m. before I think check-in time is 3 p.m. I might be able to arrive early, I haven't asked him yet, but there's two of the gyms that I have national memberships to are within like a mile of the Union Station, and then I'll be riding another train or a bus or a couple of buses up to the house. It takes about an hour to commute from Union Station to, let me see if I can find this dog. Work that time, he's coming down the hill here. He's probably aiming for my lap. Come here, come here. I better hold this wire up or he may take it down. Yep, right to the lap. Okay, come on, come on, come on. Oh, okay, let me turn the camera back around. You can be on YouTube again. Okay, now we got the dog. Oh, but you got my microphone cord. Hello, say hello, hello. Oh, no, no licking. He likes to lick in the face once he gets in the lap. Just lay down, baby. Maybe a squirrel will come by. Where's a squirrel? You see a squirrel? Where? No, no, no. No, I don't see one. Just sit still. Anyway, then I get back on the train the next day. I think it leaves at about 2 p.m. I guess I'm going to have to sit up to be over him. About 2 p.m. from Chicago. He's looking right at the camera. Who's that? Is that a doggy? Max, up here. That way. Looky, looky, looky. He looks at the camera, but he doesn't see a dog. Anyway, and then I think it's 18 hours to Chicago. Again, arriving somewhere around 7 a.m. And that will be 1 day ahead of my house sit, but the owners out there, they have a separate apartment in the basement with a master suite. Oh, is that a hawk? We don't want any hawks coming over here. I'll have to smack them so they don't get... You're kind of too big to pick up. But a littler dog would be bait for a... Get out of my face. Hey, lay down, baby. Lay down. Lay down. Lay down. He ain't having any of that. I'll lean over here. He's got too much to watch. I'm surprised. I guess he's not the kind of dog that likes to get in water very often. Let me tilt my legs a little bit this way. Yeah, he thinks he's a lap dog, but he's not really. But I'm glad he's here. I don't have to worry about where he's at up there. He's a little bit stubborn, but he finally listens. I'm glad he listened with the possum last night and came out on the first call. But he hears something he wants to go chasing after. Anyway, the house in Denver has 2 dogs, 2 small dogs, 4 cats that all stay inside. They have a cat condominium on their screened-in porch, sun porch, whatever they call it, where they kind of spend the nights. And I found in houses that are set up like this, usually the dogs are used to staying on the main level, and I'll be staying, and cats, and I'll be staying in the basement. It's the same setup at the house that I'll be doing in Tennessee. So this one likes to sleep with you, but I haven't been allowing him to the last few nights because he likes to take up a good half of the bed. I can't even roll over without kicking him or hitting him with my arm unintentionally or something. So it's just easier not to have him in the room with me. But those are kind of the trials and tribulations of house sitting. I guess I'll call it a night now. The sun is only 30 minutes from going below the horizon. So we will head on back to the house. I've already had one big meal today. That might be all I eat as I'm on this weight loss plan. 1 meal a day is generally sufficient when you're fat adapted. We walked earlier this morning, and I have to keep him on the leash near the neighbor's house and going down the driveway. He's not even allowed to go very far down the driveway because he has no car sense. So he has to be on the leash then, and then when we round the corner to get parallel to the creek, he can come off the leash because it's just 110 acres back here. And deer heard me coming, about 6 deer heard me, but he didn't see him, and he was still on the leash. So by the time I got him off the leash, the deer were way down this way, and he never got to chase them. So he needs a good run. So hopefully a squirrel or a squirrel or deer. You know deer? Where's the deer? Where's the deer? Go find me a squirrel. He was ready to go with that possum last night, but the possum wouldn't have anything up, and the possum did not back down. All I saw were teeth. Urgh. Was that possum growling at you last night? He's not allowed under your deck, is he? But when this thing barks, he sounds like a squeak toy. But I won't talk any longer because it is cooling off, and it is time probably to head back to the house. So I'm glad. I hope you enjoyed this walk and talk. A little bit of forest bathing, a little bit of fresh air. Not for you necessarily, but for me. All is well here. I'll check in again when I can. Have a great day. Oh, and please subscribe, hit the like button, and comment down below. Thank you very much. I'm Chip, by the way. This channel is Chillin' with Chip. I got to remember to do that earlier in these things because half of you aren't even here by this point in the video. And there's a Koji link down below where I discuss more of my health issues. You can tell I'm getting a little congested. I'd say it's pollen, but nothing is blooming, even though there are a few scattered little green shoots coming up, but none of the trees are blooming. But anyway, I heard something the other day that said trees, you should walk outside. It was actually the cardiologist from Orlando I watch on YouTube said that trees put out some kind of essential oil that you're supposed to breathe in as you walk in the forest and do forest bathing, or even in your backyard, or on the beach, wherever you're at. The air has things that are beneficial to you. All it seems to be doing at the moment is causing me to have drainage. I don't want to be blowing my nose in the video, so we'll say goodbye. God bless. Thank you for watching. I hope to see you again soon, or you see me anyway. Thanks. Bye-bye.